50 seconds for the first time in the US Championships back in late June, and then again in Lausanne in early July. She won those US Championships fairly comfortably, and in very good form too. Good consistent performer is Debbie Dunn. She goes in 5. Most recently wins in Lausanne and a second in Gateshead. So Nazarova in 1, Krivoshabka in 2, the 2 Russians. Moncho of Botswana 3, Sherika Williams in 4, Debbie Dunn USA 5, Fedorova the European champion in 6 for Russia, Williams Mills Jamaica 7, McCrory in lane 8.
Set.
Well, what can the European champion Fedorova here do against the best of the Americans and the Jamaicans? She goes in lane 6, third from left. Fedorova's gone off fairly slowly. Inside of Debbie Dunn has certainly made up a little ground already. Also going very well there on the outside in lane 7 is Noveline Williams-Mills. She's making up ground on Mokurori, as you'd expect. But inside there, Monchot in lane 3. The tall figure moving along well. And also outside her, Debbie Dunn now. But Monchot it is who leads at the moment. These 3 abreast round the crown of the bend. The stagger yet to unwind. Fedorova with quite a bit of work to do here because the 3 athletes inside her are well up on her. And they come into the straight, and it's Monchot, the most consistent, who won the African Championships just last week. In lane 3 leads. Coming back at them now is Fedorova. This is a strong finish from the Russian on the outside, and she's going to take it. She throws it back at the rest of the world. The European champion in marvellous form, and just inside of Debbie Dunn coming through too for a late second place, I think. 50.47. Well, her form in Barcelona was anything but a fluke. It was where she broke 50 seconds for the first time ever. She's the second fastest in the world this year, and what a last 100 she ran, third to left.
Well, it was an even-paced 400 metres for Fedorova. Certainly Monchot, Botswanian, who really goes out very strongly, as we saw, tied up dramatically in the final stages to let Debbie Dunn come through on her as well. Right on the outside, McCrory came through very strongly. But Fedorova, as Tim was saying, she's got a couple of world indoor silver medals to her credit. That was this year, and then to win the outdoor title. Personal best inside 50 seconds, and it showed.
Well, very satisfying that, seeing a European champion turn back the best of the rest of the world. 50.46 the winning time confirmed there.
Well, yesterday the shot put moved downtown in Stockholm to King's Garden, and a very, very good competition indeed. Corey Martin of the United States took the 3rd place with a 5th round throw of 20 meters and 73. Big crowd. And one of the features, similar to the Manchester City Games that we've seen in the United Kingdom, many of the world's athletes attended those, and that was a very, very good throw, 20 meters and 73. The Olympic champion, Tomasz Majewski of Poland, took 2nd place. His throw just over 21 meters, and that was his 5th round throw as well. He'd had a 20.99, a 20.86, and a 20.72. He's a really big fella, and in contrast to the rest, he's got the linear technique. Now this fella, Christian Cantwell, totally and utterly unbeaten this season. He's a big man, he's fast, and that was over 22 meters. 22 meters and 9, it was a meeting record. Took Udo Bayer's record, remember him, the East German, back in 1986. And that record has now gone at 22 meters and 9 to Christian Cantwell. The American #1, the world #1. There it is. Cantwell, Majewski, and Martin. Rieshofer, look at the field, how strong that was with Armstrong, the Canadian there as well. And there are the points, 20 points. Christian Cantwell heading for the diamond, heading for the win over the 7 events of this Diamond League program.
Ut i problem här för 4 på del. Det här är det 3:e och sista försöket för Lisa ifrån Tyskland. Hon kommer här nu, 4 på del.
Well, the celebrations of Fedorova there are well justified. 50.46 from the Russian to beat Debbie Dunn and McCrory, the 2 Americans in 2nd and 3rd. Good run that from McCrory, certainly beating Sherika Williams and Monchot and Noveline Williams. And well, when the Diamond League points are dished out, Fedorova, Dunn, McCrory, 4-2-1 each. And the overall totals therefore put Alison Felix out in front, ahead of Monchot, that on win-loss record, Sherika Williams in 3rd place.
Well, the long jump took place earlier on. in this stadium. And Gomez in third place overall. Gomez really struggled. In fact, it was right at the very end of the competition. She came through with that 6.72. Got 6.62 until then. Brittany Rees has been pretty dominant the last meets. One in Lausanne, one in Paris. A 7-meter jumper. Had one good jump and 3 no jumps overall. A white flag indicating a jump at 6 meters and 75. Not her day. But Daria Klishina of Russia is only 19, 5th in the World Indoor Championships earlier on this season, just to give you a statistic on her. But she has got a personal best of 7 meters and 3. That's a national junior record, a Russian national junior record. A little bit of backward rotation there, but still 6 meters and 78 was good enough to win. Well, there it is, 6.78 for Klishina, then Brittany Rees and Nadia Gomez, 6.72 in third place. I'll have a look and see what that does to the score. Oh, there's the remainder, Carolina Kluft, finding a life pretty difficult, actually, in the long jump. World Olympic champion at heptathlon, of course. Very, very talented, and at home in front of a home crowd here. Well, there's the lineup for the 800 meters. Simmons, Wheating, Manzano, Michael Rimmer, Lewandowski. So you've got the 2 European top medalists there. Kamel, Lang, Kebuna, Kaki. Let's watch out for him, the Sudanese. Yego. And it'll be paced by Davis Robinson, who will take on that pace from the outside. And we shall see here, but looking at the start lineup, Kaki must be the favourite. And this crowd very knowledgeable. Youssef Kamal, Bahrain, 1:42.79 he ran in 2008. Formerly Gregory Concella, a famous dad. And hasn't run much this season, been injured, I'm told, and ran in the mile in Eugene but didn't finish. Lewandowski, there's the European champion, drawn in the 4th lane. Just waiting to see. So we've got Simmons and Wheating, 2 Americans, then Mazzano, another American, the 3rd American. Wheating, tall figure on the left of your shot now. And Kaki right out in the 7th lane, just inside David Robinson, the pacemaker. There's Michael Rim on the right, but this is the European champion, Lewandowski. Already mentioned Yusuf Said Kamel, Bahrain. That's Kaki. Kaki is the favourite for me. Yego, Alfred Kewe Yego, the 800-meter world champion in 2007, got a silver in Berlin last year. And here's the man with the job of pacing this.
On your marks. Stand up.
So the men's 800 meters. I just wonder how Kaki will run this. When I first saw him in the World Indoor Championships a few seasons ago, he ran it from the front. That's his tactic. Will he do it here? Well, they've asked for 50 seconds for the first 400 meters. There have been an awful lot of very, very quick races this season already. And I see that Robinson's going to have to shift to get right up to Kaki and goes past him. And Lewandowski, the European champion, already making his presence felt. Yego in the orange strip. There's Robinson finally getting into the control position. The first 200 meters gone. It looks as though it's a pretty quick one, Tim.
It does indeed, yes. Beautiful conditions, Stuart. 19 degrees, absolutely perfect. Windless evening here in the Olympic Stadium. and every reason to believe these men can run fast. If the likes of Rimmer and Lewandowski can shake off the fatigue of last week at the European Championships, I'd like to see them really mix it here with the best of the Africans, although certainly Kaki on paper is a class apart as they come to 400 metres, and it is pretty quick. That's good pace-making.
Yes, indeed. And Kaki is leading the trailing group. Also there is Lalang. Boaz Lalang, the Kenyan. He's a 1:43 man too. So he's in the second place in the race proper at the moment, and they've really, Lewandowski's come through on the inside. They've allowed him through. There was a little bit of a gap opened up. Michael Rimmer's in about sixth place at the moment. And now the pacemaker's gone and the race is on, and Lewandowski, the European champion, has taken this on. The confidence that comes from running a championship record or championship performance in Barcelona. Kivuna coming fast on him, Lang on the near side. Lewandowski, Kivuna's coming very strongly as well. Well, look at this, Lewandowski. Lewandowski's going to take it. Justin Rimmer in second place. What a finish by Rimmer. Kaki lost a shoe, incidentally, but what a good run once again by the two Europeans. And Rimmer hardly got a mention until the final stages, but what a very fast last 200 or 300 metres. 1:45.09. The first 400 metres was about right, and as they came off the final bend, well, look at this.
Well, Lewandowski very, very confident after his win last week, and he's won a relatively slow race there. Rimmer coming back at him so strongly, almost a replay that of the European Championships. The Pole and the Briton 1-2, the Africans behind them. Kaki stumbling off the track there at the top of the bend with about 150, 170 to go. I think must have got his heel clipped, but even the fast finishing American there coming through, Simmons, couldn't stay with the two Europeans who are in such fine fettle. Really good to see.
Well, Lewandowski, I mean, to come off a major championship and to beat the people that he beat here, including Kaki, who obviously had his problems, they were closing down in the final stages. Let's have a look at the final stages of this. Kivuna, good junior, came through to the World Championships. He was 9th in the World Championships. There's Kaki losing the shoe and moving away. The favourite gone. And Lewandowski showing some real strength. He's got a best this season of 1:43.84 in Monaco. But Michael Rimmer, a lot of credit, a good tactical brain for Michael Rimmer. Just can't quite beat this fella, though. Good race.
Stuart, I'm just looking at Kaki. He's just walked down the length of the home straight and crossed the line in front of us. I can't see that he's got any cut or anything. I don't think he was clipped. It might have been his heel was clipped from behind. It was very unclear in that those shots.
Well, just earlier on this evening, the heats for the 100 metres, I mentioned it. Oh, actually went and long jumped earlier on, incidentally, to try and score some points. She's a 690 jumper in long jump. She's pretty good all round. The American Championships, she achieved that. Attempting now 1:94 for the first time. No one clear at this height thus far. Vlasic has had two clearances, one at 185 and one at 190, so she would be next to jump. Ooh, just clipped it. She's had a very good season, actually, Lowe. She's set a new American record at 2:05, winning the United States National Championships this year. Lots of confidence coming from... She's been second, really, right throughout this Diamond League series, behind Blanka Vlasic. So Vlasic will have seen that.
Well, they continue on, just a couple of laps gone in this women's steeplechase. Zarodnieva there, the European champion from Russia, very much to the fore, towers over the Africans around her. The quickest race this year was in Rome, of course, where both Chewa and Kipkemoy set those very quick times. But interesting that Marta Dominguez and Zarodnieva are 3rd and 4th on the year's list. It's still a developing event, the women's steeplechase. Not the same strength and depth as, let's say, 800 or 1,500 metres on the world scene.
Well, we promised you Blanka Vlasic, and here she is. She's seen Chantillo fail at this height at 194, the European champion, in championship winning form again recently. And that was not just a clearance, that was a significant clearance, wasn't it? That was way big, striding, lolloping approach, good driving inside knee that gives that beautiful arch and clearance of the bar. So that's the lead thus far. Early days, though.
Well, I went through the first kilometre a little outside of schedule. The pacemaking by Hyman a little awry. It was 3:04.4 at 1 kilometre. They were looking for around 3:01, 3:02, remember. Now they need to push on, and this middle section of the race. Also often we see the race is set up well with a quick first kilometre, and then it slackens in the middle. But if they can push on here, with Zaradnieva there, very much making a presence felt amongst the Kenyans. It's Kipkemoi who leads. They come into the straight. Zaradnieva, good flat speed too, Zaradnieva. The Russians make a point of ensuring that they're steeplechasers, with Rotic there in third place, making sure of ensuring their steeplechasers have very good flat credentials too.
Emma Glenn from Sweden. Her attempt at 1:94. Just Blasic's clear. Well, that was a good clearance as well. Now, she's actually going quite well at the moment. Just looking at her performance in the European Championship, she got the silver medal with a personal best of 2:01, so she is in form. Took a couple of attempts at 1:90.
Well, Zaradnieva just moved through on the inside there, I think, feeling the pace was slackening a bit. And I don't know if the European champion is getting a little impatient with his pace, but certainly it didn't really pick up once the pacemaker, Madria Hyman, had dropped out. But this second kilometre, well, after a 3:04, you'd be looking for something pretty similar at the second segment, the middle segment of this race. We're looking for about 6:08 at 2 kilometres. Obviously, their best parts of 3.